What's up, traders? Welcome to another live session. Finally, we had some movement in the markets, and more importantly, movement in our favor, which is great. Today, I'm just gonna go over Euro USD, Euro Aussie, Pound Aussie, Gold, the dollar index, and I wanted to show a quick thing for NSD CAD, even though we're already out of that trade. Before I start about that, today we did have some important USD fundamentals. We had retail sales come out, and they actually came out better than expected. Actually, worse than expected. So the forecast was 0.6% or 0.7, depending on if you look at Forex Factory or FX Street. But the results came in at 0.5%. So it was still better than the previous 0.3%. So even though it was lower than the expected, it was still a improvement from last month, which is great. And 11 out of 13 business categories are showing an increase in sales. Most notably, the motor vehicle and auto industry. They had about a 0.7% increase in sales this month, so that really helped. We saw the dollar index rocket off earlier from the earlier parts of yesterday. I believe when we were doing our live session, we were right around here, and I was letting everyone know that 97.05 would be the next resistance for the dollar index, but we blew past that. We did break and retest on the smaller time frame, and now we're heading to the next key level, which is 97.69, which I also said on yesterday's live session. For some reason it didn't upload, but it's uploading right now, so you can go back and watch it after this one. And next week is major key for monetary policy for the Aussie. So Monday is Aussie monetary policy. Wednesday is the U.S. monetary policy, the FOMC. Thursday is the pound monetary policy, and Friday is German flash sales. So we got fundamentals basically every day of next week. So I'm kind of hesitant on showing any trade setups today. I'll look this weekend. Maybe Sunday you guys might see a setup that's worth trading, but there's going to be so much volatility next week. And as retail traders, we might not know if this volatility is already priced in or not, but it's always best to not guess and be on the safer side. So I'll try to find some pairs that won't make us have to close before the release of any of these fundamentals, because 4 out of the 5 days next week, we're going to see a lot of volatility and movement in the markets. So let's start with the euro. I called shorts 36 hours ago, and finally we got some movement. Yesterday we really consolidated in this region right here after we made that first break into our descending channel. This is our descending channel from the daily. I think we've seen it enough. I'm not going to go back to it. But yeah, yesterday we finally made that push off the resistance, and we consolidated at this within the descending channel. And then we did this cool little thing right here, which I didn't even notice till now, is we actually retested it at this candle right here. We got a retest and a rejection. So if you did see this right here, this retest rejection of the descending channel, you could have actually added another position short, which I didn't even know happened. But that's the thing, becoming your own trader and becoming independent and learning how to trade, you pick up on these kind of cues. So, a novice trader would think, oh no, we're retracing back, but this nice rejection was confirmation for further fallout. And so right now we're stalling around 1.127, which is our little hourly or 4-hourly support we drew last week using our horizontal line. Let me just go back to the 4-hour. So we're stalling there for a bit. It's been resistance before. Support and support here. So it's just the area of most activity. So obviously price is going to stall there for a bit, and it is a Friday, so overall volume is low. And I think most of the USD pairs are waiting for next week's FOMC statement. So we'll wait for that. But I'm happy we got some movement. Because right now USD yen, for those that are in the swing long, we're kind of just going back and forth from 108.850 and 108.300. I'll pull that up just to be sure, but we're just ranging. I'm still sticking with longs until we break past that low, which we still haven't. So yeah, euro is not a good time to short. The best time to short was when we made that impulse push down here, and when we made that retest. If you watched every live session, you would have known that I gave the criteria for shorts, like I gave the criteria for longs. We did play out up until this, but we had a nice rejection of the resistance, so our bias turned from long to short. So that's Euro USD. What we're looking for is a break, a retest, and then we can fill up this range to 1.1100, which I think we will visit. We haven't visited those lows since last year this time, 2018. Let me just be sure. Yep. So June 2018 was the last time we visited these lows, and I believe I think that's where we're gonna be headed next, just based on price action alone. The descending channel, it seems to be respected. We're respecting resistance. Overall, we're creating lower highs and lower lows. So our next stop could be the 1.1100 area, and this is in accordance to the geopolitical instability in the European Union right now. They're not sure what they're going to do. Some analysts even say they're on the brink of a recession. So this is a nice swing opportunity if you really wanted to, but right now, given that next week is just jam packed with fundamentals, I'd rather not enter any more swings. So Euro USD done and dusted. Nice 50-60 pips. Euro Aussie. So yesterday someone asked me about Euro Aussie and should we short it or not? And I believe we were right here when we were doing yesterday's live session, and I said that ideally we'd want to come to resistance and then look for shorts, and you'd see right here why that's key. So if you shorted from here, I mean, we didn't even break the trend line. So what I said is if we get to resistance, our risk to reward will be amazing. That's why I plotted this, and we can see an actual fallout, which we did. If we go all the way to the 15-minute time frame, we can actually see the break and retest. So this is us coming to resistance, trying to go long. We could not. Sellers push through, and right here we had a mini retest, and we had about, I believe, from the retest to here. Let's see how many pips this is. Let's move this over. Price range. So this is about 37 pips. So you could have made 37 pips to the trend line, and now we're just kind of laying on the trend line, possibly because we have the monetary policy for the Aussie next week, and obviously it's a Friday. So for next week, if you're looking for Euro Aussie shorts, I'd wait for a nice break of this trend line, and you can have a nice risk to reward ratio short. Let me just pause the chart so you can take down the levels for the stop loss and the take profit. Right now, I do like this candle. This candle we're currently printing on the 4-hourly. It is showing the presence of sellers. It's not a bullish candle off the trend line. It's not a candle that looks like this, or it's not a candle that looks like this, or something like this. We're creating a pin bar, so shorts could be a go next week. But I'd honestly short after Monday, since Monday is a monetary policy, and that goes for pound Aussie. Let me load up pound Aussie to see. It should be a similar story, although the fundamentals are quite different. Pound Aussie actually looks like a nice place to short as well. Just because we are stalling here, I don't want to analyze it from top to bottom, but let me see if we're hitting any key levels. I really wanted to make Friday sessions short, just because there should be no trade setups. It's just recapping. So on a weekly, it does look like a nice swing opportunity long. We literally just copied this candle. Oops. We did a 1-to-1 copy of this candle right here. Obviously, there's different fundamentals at stake right now than when we were here. So yeah, on a long-term basis, I do see pound Aussie as a long, but right off the bat, I could plot a resistance zone that we need to watch out for. Let me get that out. Jesus, so many tabs. So somewhere right here, which we did tap, going on the 4 hourly, we can see it is a nice short opportunity. What you can do is, if you're eager for shorts, and some people just need to be in a trade, just pop out this trend line, like that, and a break of this trend line could seem like a nice short opportunity, even considering risk to reward. So give it a bit of a leeway room, and to the trading range. Yeah, this is a nice short opportunity for pound Aussie. Let me just pan out a bit. You can see, you can even consider this as a bear flag. So yeah, this is a bear flag. So we had our downtrend right here, and now we have our ascending channel right here. Let me put the top part of the flag. Cool. So this is our pole. This is our flag. We could actually have a short fallout right here. The criteria is the break of this trend line, aka our ascending channel. And yeah, this could be a nice trade. I did write an article on bearish flags, so this might be a trade I'll enter after Monday. Yeah, this is a nice find. This is why you recommend things in the chat, because I'll learn a few things too. So yeah, we could have a possible pound short next week against the Aussie. Gold. So gold played out amazingly. Too bad I was asleep during this. Let me show you guys what I was beating like a dead horse all week and even last week. When we first started our live sessions, we were right here, and people were asking if it was a good time to short, and I preached, and I'll preach again, that ideally we want to pierce this resistance zone, just because we never really made a good attack at it or attempt to break through. If we look left, every time we came to this resistance zones, we've pierced deep, and we've actually made an attempt to go higher. And although there was resistance here, I don't call a resistance something that I visited only once. But when we look to the left, we've pierced this resistance zone multiple times. So I knew that the best short opportunity in terms of risk to reward and just overall profitability would be if we pierce somewhere in the 1260 zone, and we came quite close. We came to 1258, I believe, and then we had a 80 pip drop. So this is why I say plot these levels on your chart. I live in Toronto in the Eastern time zone, so I'm asleep. I was actually asleep when this move happened. But if you're in London, or if you're in parts of Asia, you might be awake and on the charts. And if you see that we've pierced this zone, you could have entered short, and hopefully you guys did. Obviously, I missed the trade, but I can always catch a retrace. But yeah, gold shorts planned out like we expected. The short was always there, but the entry was key. If you entered prematurely somewhere here, or even here, you would have went into about 90 pips in drawdown, and even after this fallout, you'd be at entry. So it's always best to get the best entry. Don't rush into a trade, because there will always be a next trade. As cliche as that sounds, I think that's important to understand. So gold's done. Dollar index, we covered it. It's looking good. Nice full bullish candles. Very low sellers. If we look at coming off this trend line, very low. We have small retraces. Very low sellers present. So I like it. I like where we're headed. Hopefully this will fuel our USD yen long. And just to cap off today's session, NSD CAD. So this was our short from last week. Another bearish flag, our pole, and our ascending channel, and our fallout. And our final take profit was right here. And that's where price kind of made a retrace. And it came back down, and it went to this hourly level we plotted, I believe, in our second or third session. And it's just beautiful to see the technicals, to see how price was magnetized to this level. Just look left, and we see that it was a level that we visited in the past. So hopefully by now you guys understand that I'm not too big on indicators. You can use one MACD or oscillator or stochastic parabolic SAR, whatever you want, moving averages, but keep things clean so you can see it. Just because you see a crossover does not mean it's time to short or time to long. Use indicators as a confluence, but I believe the best way to trade is using price action, and hopefully you guys are starting to see that and understand that. Since the live session started, I believe we made around 305 pips, and I believe every trader should strive for around 100 to 200 a week, just to get around 800 pips per month. I think that's safe in terms of risk management. Never risk more than 5%, and it's reasonable returns. Right, a lot of people are too scared to really be out there in Forex because they're too scared of losing money. But if you implement risk to reward and you enter trades that have a 1.35 risk to reward ratio, the profitability will always outweigh the risks. And so around 100 to 200 pips is what I'll be aiming for. If we get more, great. I believe there'll be weeks where we might get 100 or might get 50. But as long as you have more winning weeks than losing weeks, I feel like we'd be on a good pace. So starting next week, Monday, I believe we'll be releasing our revamped portal. It's going to have Bloomberg. It's going to have the Telegram signals already embedded. It's going to have a live feed. You're going to see archives, so past videos, past live sessions, a functioning live chat where I could communicate with you guys. So really excited. So over the weekend, we'll give more information about that. So stay tuned. So that'll be today's session, and starting next week, you'll also be getting setups from me via Telegram through the bot. They'll be more formal than the trade sessions, the live sessions. Other people from different time zones can't always make the live sessions, so I understand. But YouTube usually processes them within 24 hours. So if you can't make it, I do suggest you watch it, just to learn a thing or two, and they're free, so it won't hurt. And I believe that's it. I wanted this session to be short, but once again, it ended up being long. Hopefully you guys don't mind that, and I'll see you guys Monday. And you might see some chart work on Sunday, depending on how things look. But till then, happy trading. Don't risk anything you aren't willing to lose. And my best advice is take this Friday off. We had some good profits. And let's recuperate for Monday. Peace.